Okay, it's Tuesday morning and I'm heading down to the boat. I'm going to do some maintenance. One of the most important systems on any power boat or any sailboat with an engine is the raw water system. So raw water system helps keep the engines cool, and today we are going to do a raw water system flush. Okay, I'm here at world famous Captain's Locker in Alamitos Bay, and need to pick up some stuff for our raw water flush out today. Looks like my bottom cleaner guys came by. That's nice. So this is what I purchased at Captain's Locker, the Maritime Express Ultimate Descaler. The nice thing about this thing is it's non-toxic and biodegradable. It's expensive. I bought 2 gallons and it was a total of $83. So 1 gallon will go in each engine and will sit for about 4 hours, and I'm going to show you that right now. So we need the descaler, a large funnel, a BFD, or BFH I should say, a spanner wrench, some paper towels, and a couple of bottles of water, the keys to the ignition, and a towel, and probably some rags too, which I'm not going to put on here. Okay, there we go. We've got our 2 Crusaders here, and the heat exchangers are right at the end there. That's what we're concerned about descaling the most. But in order to do that, we're going to pump this Maritime Ultimate Descaler throughout the whole engine, and we're going to do that via the sea strainers. So we're going to pop the sea strainers off, put in that funnel with a little paper towel gasket, and pump out the seawater and pump in the descaler and let it sit. So first things first, we have to shut off the raw water that's feeding the strainer via that tube right there. There we go, it's now shut off. Had to use my BFH to get it started, but just little taps, didn't take much. Now I'm going to start the engines just briefly, just to suck some of the raw water out of the system. You never want to run the engines too long without any raw water feed or any sort of liquid feed, because it will damage the impellers. But I'm going to be replacing the impellers here pretty soon, so I don't really care, but I kind of do, so just enough to get the raw water out of the system. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's more than enough for that one. Port. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's more enough for that one. That should do it. Now let's take the tops of the sea strainers off. There's just no way to get a good camera shot in here, so I'm going to get them loosened with the spanner wrench right here. Okay, well, using this and this, which I only dropped once in the bilge, which I retrieved with this, which wasn't the best thing. I should have had a grabber, the magnetic thing. There is no magnetic stuff on the spanner wrench, but got it out anyways. After about 5 minutes of playing around with it, I finally have removed this. So this exposes the top of the strainer and the little basket that's in there. So there's the handle of the little basket, which I'll be removing. We're going to pull that out, and we're going to go ahead and put in our descaler. Well, the sea strainers are pretty clean, which kind of surprised me, because they haven't pulled them out in quite a while, at least a year, and there's really nothing in them. So that's good. I'm going to clean them out anyways. Alrighty. Okay, so we got our funnel in the top of our sea strainer and our paper towel gasket there, and a couple of bungee cords holding it down on either side. And we're just going to pour a little bit of descaler in here, run the engines, and pour some more in and run the engines until the whole entire gallon is gone. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so we've got a gallon of this stuff in each engine, and we're going to just let it sit. So we're going to let it sit for 4 hours. So truth be told, what we're supposed to do is attach a pump to this thing and circulate the descaler through the raw water system for 3 to 4 hours. However, doing that, you miss several parts of the raw water system, including the strainers and the hose that goes to the strainer, because you have to bypass the raw water impeller. So really only what you get is the transcooler and the heat exchanger, which are important. You know, you want to get those done. But I like to just put it into those systems and just let it sit and grind away. And it seems to work pretty good. You'll see when we start up the engines, after this is set for a while, the amount of material that comes out of the exhaust. It'll be quite impressive. Alright, so that's it for now. There always seems to be something I find interesting in the bilge. In this case, it was a Pepsi can. I have no clue how it got down here, but there it was. If I'm bending over backwards, rummaging around in the bilge, I always like to do other things too while I'm down there. You know, check the oil, make sure the coolant level is okay, check the transmission fluid, make sure there is some. I know that that's okay because I just checked it recently. But I just now checked the oil, and I'm half a quart low on the starboard engine, and the port engine is fine. The coolant, I got to check those when it's hot, but they seem to be okay. Probably could have a little bit. Also, I checked the bottoms of the oil filler caps. You take those off, turn them around. If there's a lot of water or looks like milky, icky goo, then you know you got a problem. So that's usually oil mixed with water, and that's not a good thing. I don't see that on either of the caps, so I think we're fine there. One thing that both these engines are due for is cap and rotor. It's been about maybe 600 hours since I've changed both of those. And you always want to make sure you get the marine cap and rotor, because they have the bronze tips on them and not the aluminum, and they don't corrode with the marine environment. So I'm not going to be doing it this weekend. Maybe I will, I don't know. When Matt's here doing the impellers, maybe I'll do the cap and rotors. We'll see how that goes. It's always something. When you're putting the caps back on the sea strainers with the spanner wrench, you know, you don't really need to crank them down. They just need to be snug, real snug. They don't have to be, you don't need to use the BFH to hammer them back into place. You know, they will over time snug themselves up. It's been 3.5 hours, so I'm going to jump in here, turn on the raw water valves again. Okay, here it comes. There it goes. So all that stuff is old just crud from the raw water system. Stuff from the set coming out quite a bit. That's all shells and marine animals and all that stuff coming out of the raw water system. Okay, so we're going to run the engines until they get up to operating temperature. Make sure there's no issues in the cooling system. Okay, well, I hope you found this video informative and helpful. Make sure you keep your raw water system up to snuff so that you don't overheat your engine. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe. I need subscribers. Please help me. Thank you.